Okay, it's time for quiz over chapters 19 through 23. Directions. Circle the best answer for each of the following questions. That's the best answer. More than one could sound like they're good, but make sure you pick the best one. Number 1. Twins are not accepted in the community. Why? What determines their fate? That just means what determines what happens to them. A. When twins are born, one will always be born evil. They get rid of the evil one so that the community will remain perfect. B. Twins are not allowed in Jonas's community because the elders cannot keep track of volunteer hours because they can't tell the two individuals apart. C. Twins can easily trade positions without being noticed, and it would be too easy for them to trade lives. This is why the community only keeps the healthiest one. D. Twins would look alike, and this would cause confusion as well as more births than allowed. The one who weighs the most is kept. Moving on to number 2. What does Jonas learn about what happens during a release? A. Jonas learns that people are sent away from the community and they are never seen again. B. Jonas learns that people are sent to another community so that they can live out the rest of their days in prison. C. Jonas learns that released victims are given a shot that will end their lives. This is called lethal injection. D. Jonas learns that released victims go to another community called Elsewhere. Number 3. Now this one isn't multiple choice, so you're going to have to write out your answer. Please do so in complete sentences. Can you think of a time in either present day or in past history when a certain people have been released for any reason? Think about what release means. And are people released in modern day or ever in the past? Moving on, number 4. Remember, guys, that you guys can pause or skip at any time. Number 4. What does Jonas learn about what happens to the old? A. Jonas learns that the old are killed when they are released. B. Jonas learns that the old cannot take care of themselves as easily as everyone else, and that is why they need more volunteers to help them with their daily lives. C. Jonas learns that the old are sent to a place called Elsewhere when they become too hard to care for. D. Jonas learns that old people die on their own and are buried outside the community to keep people unaware of death. Number 5. Jonas and the giver decide that things have to change, so they think of a plan. Which of the following choices best explains their plan? A. Jonas and the giver plan to give all the memories back to the people in the community. They believe this will increase their quality of life. B. Jonas will escape the community, taking all the memories the giver has already transmitted to him. C. Jonas will break into the restricted section of the Hall of Records and place books of all kinds around the community so that people can read about the way life could be. They hope to start a revolution. D. The giver asks Jonas to release him so that all of the memories he still has can go out into the community where they belong. Number 6. What is the reason that the giver will not go with Jonas to carry out the plan? A. He is too old and weak. If he were to get caught, the giver would just slow Jonas down. B. The giver is forcing Jonas to go alone to teach him how to be independent. C. The giver needs to remain behind so that he can help people when the memories return to them. D. The giver did not agree with the childish plan that Jonas came up with and basically disowned him. Number 7. What does Jonas want the giver to keep for himself? A. The giver wanted to give Jonas the color picture of a family in the old days, but Jonas thought that the picture was too precious to the giver and he didn't want to take it from him. B. Jonas wanted the giver to keep the Christmas holiday memory. It was the giver's favorite and it only seemed right. C. Jonas wanted the giver to keep the rest of the memories. In time, they too would be sent back out into the community. D. Jonas wanted the giver to keep the memory of music. Number 8. What things does the giver transmit to Jonas to help him on his journey? A. The giver transmits strength, endurance, and courage to Jonas. B. The giver gives Jonas a supplied backpack so that he will have everything he needs to carry out the plan. C. The giver transmits Jonas one last happy memory so it will be easier for Jonas to stand up to the chief elder. D. The giver transmits the memory of all past revolutions so that Jonas can see the different strategies and use them to his advantage. Number 9. Who do we find out Rosemary really is? A. Rosemary is a girl from another community that they brought in so they could have an outsider's view of their way of life. B. Rosemary was a secret agent from another community that came to spy on them and to shut down the community, but they released her before she could. C. Rosemary was Jonas's biological sister. D. Rosemary was the giver's daughter. 10. Who does Jonas take with him when he escapes? Is it A. Lily, B. Gabe, C. Asher, or D. Fiona? 11. What would have happened to this person, the same person from question 10, if they were to stay in the community? So what would happen to the person if they were to stay in the community? A. They would take over the community and become a dictator. B. They would stay there and never know what life could be like outside the strict rules of the community. C. They would be released. D. They would be sent to the prison in another community. Number 12. What happens to Jonas and this person, the same person from questions 10 and 11, at the end of the story? So what happens to them at the end of the story? A. They get caught before they can escape and are immediately released. B. They make it to elsewhere. C. They don't make it because they freeze to death in the snow. D. Answers B and C are correct.